music, and mental health, therapeutic interventions, and psychological well-being. Overview. Module 10 addresses the profound relationship between music and mental health, focusing on the therapeutic potential of music in treating a range of psychological conditions and promoting psychological well-being. This module explores the mechanisms by which music can be used to alleviate symptoms of mental health disorders, including depression, anxiety, stress, trauma, and schizophrenia. Drawing on the fields of music therapy, clinical psychology, and psychoneuroimmunology, the module highlights the neurobiological and psychological mechanisms by which music influences mental health. The course begins with an overview of the theories and practices of music therapy as a mental health intervention, distinguishing between different therapeutic approaches, such as cognitive behavioral music therapy, CBMT, psychodynamic music therapy, and community music therapy. Students will explore how music is integrated into the treatment of psychological conditions, from structured therapeutic settings to informal interventions in everyday life. A central theme of this module is the impact of music on emotional regulation, stress reduction, and mood enhancement. The therapeutic use of music is examined through the lens of emotional intelligence and resilience, showing how music aids in processing emotions, fostering social connection, and promoting self-expression. Moreover, the module covers music's potential in facilitating trauma recovery and healing from adverse experiences. In addition, the neurophysiological underpinnings of music's impact on mental health are explored, including the regulation of hormones such as cortisol and oxytocin, and the modulation of the autonomic nervous system. You will also learn about the role of music in promoting mental resilience and self-regulation, both in clinical and non-clinical contexts. Finally, the module investigates contemporary trends in digital mental health interventions that incorporate music, including the use of music apps, virtual music therapy platforms, and online support communities. The ethical and cultural considerations of using music as the therapeutic tool are also discussed. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to explain the role of music therapy in the treatment of various mental health conditions, analyze the psychological and neurobiological mechanisms by which music affects emotional regulation, stress reduction, and mood enhancement. Evaluate the effectiveness of music therapy interventions for mental health disorders, including depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Understand the role of music in trauma recovery and emotional processing. Identify the neurobiological pathways activated by music and the therapeutic effects of music on brain function. Discuss the importance of social connection and group music making in mental health interventions. Assess the emerging trends in digital mental health interventions using music. Recognize the cultural and ethical considerations involved in using music as a therapeutic tool. Detailed content breakdown. 1. Theories and practices of music therapy for mental health. Overview of music therapy as a mental health intervention. Cognitive behavioral music therapy, CBMT, and psychodynamic music therapy approaches. Community music therapy and its applications in group settings. Music therapy in clinical and non-clinical environments. Ethical guidelines and professional standards for music therapists. 2. Music and emotional regulation. The role of music in regulating mood and emotions. Music as a tool for self-expression and emotional processing. The influence of music on emotional intelligence and resilience. Music. Induced emotional catharsis and the therapeutic process. 3. Music and stress reduction. Physiological mechanisms of stress reduction through music. The impact of music on autonomic nervous system regulation, music and cortisol, stress hormone modulation, relaxation techniques using music, e.g., progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery. 4. Music for depression, anxiety, and trauma recovery. The use of music in managing depressive symptoms and anxiety disorders. Music as a tool for trauma recovery and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Case studies of music therapy, interventions for mental health conditions. The role of music in fostering a sense of safety and control in trauma survivors. 5. Neurobiological mechanisms of music's therapeutic effects. The neurophysiological pathways activated by music, listening, and performance. The regulation of neurochemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, and cortisol. Brain regions involved in emotional processing and music perception, e.g., amygdala, prefrontal cortex. The concept of neuroplasticity and how music promotes brain healing and reorganization. 6. Music and social connection. Music's role in promoting social bonds and reducing loneliness. Group music making and social engagement as mental health interventions. Music's impact on social cohesion in therapeutic and community settings. Music as a medium for building empathy and mutual understanding in group therapy. 7th, digital music and mental health interventions. The use of music in digital health apps for mental well-being. Virtual music therapy platforms and their effectiveness. Online communities and social support for mental health through music. Ethical considerations in digital music therapy. 8. Cultural and ethical considerations in music therapy. The influence of cultural factors on music therapy practice, cultural sensitivity in the use of music in therapeutic settings, ethical dilemmas in the use of music as a therapeutic tool, global perspectives on music therapy and its applications,